Bismillah. My brothers and sisters, Ramadan is not just about staying hungry and thirsty. Ramadan is a mirror. It shows you who you really are when nobody is watching. It shows you your habits, your anger, your tongue, your patience, and your relationship with Allah. Many people enter Ramadan trying to fix others. They talk about who is wrong, who is weak, who is not practicing properly. But the real question is, did you come here to fix the world, or did you come here to fix yourself? Because the strongest people are not those who correct everyone else. The strongest people are not those who correct themselves. This Ramadan 2026, make one intention. Ya Allah, before I look at anyone else, help me improve myself. Look at your salah first. Look at your character first. Look at your character first. Look at how you speak first. Look at how you treat your parents first. Because real change starts inside, not outside. And another powerful lesson Ramadan teaches us is silence. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every criticism deserves your reply. Not every insult deserves your reaction. Sometimes the best response is silence, not because you are weak, but because you are wise. Silence saves relationships. Silence protects respect. Silence prevents regret. How many times have we destroyed peace just because we wanted the last word? This Ramadan, learn to say, I could respond, but for the sake of Allah, I choose peace. And when you stay silent for Allah, Allah speaks for you in ways you cannot imagine. Remember this, Allah sees what people say about you. Allah sees what people do to you. Allah sees the pain you never explain to anyone. And when you remain patient, Allah writes a plan for you that no one can stop. Sometimes you wonder, why is my dua delayed? Why is my situation not changing? Why am I being tested? But what if Allah is protecting you? What if Allah is preparing you? What if Allah is teaching you something before giving you something? Allah's plan is always working even when you don't see it. A seed stays under the soil for a long time before it becomes a tree. If you judged it early, you would think nothing is happening, but underneath, growth is taking place. The same is happening in your life. Your patience is not wasted. Your tears are not ignored. Your du'as are not unheard. So fix yourself. Control your tongue. Purify your intentions. And trust Allah's timing. Maybe this Ramadan Allah removes a bad habit from your life. Maybe this Ramadan Allah heals your heart. Maybe this Ramadan Allah forgives sins nobody knows about. Maybe this Ramadan Allah changes your destiny. But it starts with one decision. I will work on myself. I will speak less. I will trust Allah more. And when you do this, you will see something beautiful happen. The stress you carried will become lighter. The anger you carried will disappear. The confusion you had will turn into clarity. Because when you fix your connection with Allah, Allah fixes what is around you. So this Ramadan 2026, don't compete in showing people how religious you look. Compete in Fide sincerity, Veggie, patiencerity, forgiveness, Veggie, self-control, 1G kindness, and remember, fix yourself first, stay silent when needed, trust Allah always, and then just watch how beautifully Allah's plan unfolds in your life. May Allah allow us to leave this Ramadan better than we entered it. One of the greatest signs of sincerity is when a person begins to look at their own faults before they look at the faults of others. This is something Ramadan teaches us very deeply. Ramadan is not a month to audit other people's lives. It is a month to audit your own heart. Many people waste their energy talking about others. This person should pray more. That person is doing wrong. People are becoming worse. But the real question is, what about me? Before you correct someone else's prayer, ask yourself about your own prayer. Before you question someone else's character, ask yourself about your own behavior. Before you talk about someone else's sins, ask yourself about the sins only you and Allah know. Real growth begins when excuses end. Self-accountability means you become honest with yourself. You stop pretending. You stop blaming others for everything going wrong in your life. Instead of saying, they made me angry, you start asking, why is my anger so weak that people can control it? Instead of saying, nobody respects me, you start asking, am I giving people a reason to respect me? This is the mindset of someone who wants to improve. Ramadan gives us this training through fasting. When you are fasting, you control yourself even when nobody is watching. You could easily drink water secretly. You could easily eat something privately, but you don't. Why? Because you know Allah sees you. This is where self-accountability is born. When you realize Allah is watching, even when people are not. The strongest believer is not the one who appears perfect in public. The strongest believer is the one who fights their weaknesses in private. Maybe nobody knows how hard you are trying to leave a bad habit. Maybe nobody knows how many times you stop yourself from saying something hurtful. Maybe nobody knows how many silent battles you are fighting. But Allah knows, and that is enough. A beautiful quality of successful people is that they always ask themselves, how can I become better? They don't live with a victim mentality. They live with a growth mentality. Every night in Ramadan, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Bekib, what did I do today that brought me closer to Allah? Boykib, what mistake did I make today? What mistake did I make today? What can I improve tomorrow? If you do this sincerely by the end of Ramadan, you will not be the same person. Self-accountability is not about hating yourself. It is about improving yourself. It is not about feeling hopeless. It is about feeling responsible. Because when you take responsibility, you take back control of your life. And here is a powerful secret. When you start fixing yourself, Allah starts fixing your situation. When your intentions become clean, Allah opens doors. When your character improves, Allah improves your relationships. When your patience grows, Allah sends peace into your heart. So this Ramadan, make a quiet promise to yourself, I will worry less about who is wrong around me and focus more on what I can make right within me. Because the people who change the most are not those who talk the most. They are those who reflect the most. They are those who reflect the most. Fix your heart, fix your intentions, fix your actions, and you will see that when you become better, your whole life begins to become better too. Accountability is the first step of transformation. One of the most underrated strengths a person can develop is the ability to remain silent. In a world where everyone wants to speak, argue, respond, and prove themselves right, very few people understand the true power of silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Anyone can react, anyone can shout, anyone can argue, but not everyone can control their tongue when they are angry, hurt, or misunderstood. That requires strength of character. Ramadan teaches us this lesson in a very practical way. When you are fasting, you are not only staying away from food and drink, you are also staying away from useless talk, arguments, gossip, and hurtful words. The Prophet's 11 choice to argue with you are. While you are fasting, simply say, I am fasting. This is a lesson in emotional discipline. Sometimes the biggest problems in our lives come not from what we did, but from what we said. A single sentence spoken in anger can destroy years of friendship. A few careless words can break someone's heart. An unnecessary argument can damage family relationships, and many times after speaking, we regret it and think, I wish I had stayed quiet. But very rarely do we regret silence. Silence gives you time to think. Silence allows emotions to cool down. Silence protects you from saying things that cannot be taken back. Words are like arrows. Once they leave, they never return. There is also a spiritual power in silence. When you talk less, you think more. When you think more, you reflect more. When you reflect more, you become more aware of Allah. Some people lose their peace because they feel the need to respond to everything. Every comment, every criticism, every negative opinion becomes a battle they feel they must fight. But wisdom is knowing which battles deserve your energy. Not every opinion deserves your reply. Not every insult deserves your attention. Not every misunderstanding needs your explanation. Sometimes silence is your best answer. And here is better for you, and here is something very powerful to remember. When you stay silent to avoid hurting someone or to avoid creating conflict for the sake of Allah, that silence becomes an act of worship. Imagine getting reward not for what you say, but for what you choose not to say. Strong people are not those who always prove they are right. Strong people are those who know when peace is more important than being right. Silence also protects you from gossip. Many people fall into backbiting not because they plan to, but because they simply kept talking. The more unnecessary conversation increases, the more chances there are to fall into sin. This Ramadan, try practicing intentional silence. Speak when your words bring benefit. Speak when your words bring kindness. Speak when your words bring truth. But when your words bring anger, ego, or negativity, choose silence. Make this a personal rule. If my words are not better than my silence, I will remain silent. You will notice something amazing when you start doing this. Your respect will increase. Your stress would decrease. Your regrets would become fewer. Your heart will feel lighter. Because silence is not emptiness. Silence is protection. Silence is wisdom. Silence is maturity. Sometimes Allah defends those who choose patience over reaction. So this Ramadan, train your tongue. Not everything you think needs to be said. Not everything you feel needs to be expressed immediately. Speak less. Think more. Remember Allah more, because sometimes the most powerful statement a believer can make is silence. One of the hardest tests of faith is not hardship but waiting. Many people can worship Allah when things are going well. Many people can make dua when they are desperate. But the real test comes when you've been making dua for a long time and nothing seems to change. This is where trust in Allah's timing becomes important. Sometimes we think life is not moving because we do not see results. But just because you do not see movement does not mean Allah is not working. Allah is always working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see and cannot understand. We live in a world of instant results, instant messages, instant replies, instant success stories on social media. So naturally, we start expecting instant answers from Allah too. But Allah does not work according to our urgency. Allah works according to His perfect wisdom. You may want something now, but Allah knows the right time. You may think you are ready, but Allah knows what. This still needs to be prepared. You may think something is good for you, but Allah sees what you cannot see. Sometimes delays are not denials, they are preparation. Think about it this way. If Allah gave you everything you asked for immediately, without preparing your heart, your character, or your situation, maybe those blessings would actually harm you instead of helping you. Maybe you ask for success, but Allah is first building your patience. Maybe you ask for happiness, but Allah is first cleaning your heart. Maybe you ask for an opportunity, but Allah is first building your discipline, because a blessing given before you are ready can become a burden instead of a gift. Trusting Allah's timing means you continue doing good even when results are not visible. It means you continue making dua even when answers seem delayed. It means you continue improving yourself even when nobody notices. And this is where Ramadan teaches us a beautiful lesson. Every day you fast from dawn to sunset. You cannot rush Maghrib. You cannot break your fast at noon because you feel hungry. You wait for the right time. And when the right time comes, the reward feels more special. This is exactly how Allah's plan works in your life. There are things written for you that will reach you at the exact moment they are meant for you. No one can steal what Allah has written for you. And no one can give you what Allah has not written for you. What is meant for you will find you. What missed you was never meant for you. This belief brings peace to the heart. Instead of constantly asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what is Allah teaching me through this? Instead of feeling abandoned, you begin to feel guided. Instead of feeling delayed, you begin to feel prepared. And remember something very comforting. Allah's plan is not just about giving you what you want. It is about giving you what is best for your dunya and your akhirah. Sometimes Allah removes people because He heard conversations you did not hear. Sometimes Allah delays opportunities because He sees problems you do not see. Sometimes Allah changes your direction because He knows a danger you do not know. So this Ramadan, strengthen this belief in your heart. Allah is never late. Allah is never early. Allah is never early. Allah is always on time. Keep making dua. Keep improving yourself. Keep trusting Him. And one day you will look back and realize that what you thought was a delay was actually perfect timing. Trust Allah's plan. Trust Allah's plan. Because when Allah decides the right moment, He can change your life in ways you never imagined. Life can sometimes feel heavy. Mistakes pile up, bad habits slowly form, motivation decreases, and before we realize it, we may feel far from the person we wanted to become. But from the mercy of Allah, He gives us Ramadan every year as a chance to reset our lives. Ramadan is like a reset button for the soul. Just like when a device starts slowing down, freezing, or not working properly, sometimes the best solution is to restart it. Ramadan is that spiritual restart. It is Allah giving you a fresh opportunity to reconnect, refocus, and rebuild yourself. It does not matter how distracted you were before. It does not matter how many mistakes you made. It does not matter how far you feel. Ramadan comes with one beautiful message: come back. It is not too late. This is why Ramadan feels different. The atmosphere changes, hearts become softer, mosques come full. The Quran returns into people's daily lives. Even people who struggled all year suddenly find strength to pray, fast, and make dua. This shows something powerful. You were never weak, you were just disconnected. Ramadan reconnects you, it sets you with your purpose, it reconnects you with your prayers, it reconnects you with the Quran, it reconnects you with Allah. And what makes Ramadan special is not just the fasting, it is the opportunity to rebuild habits. Many people think Ramadan is temporary worship. They think, I will pray more only this month. But the real success is using Ramadan to build habits that continue after Ramadan. Ramadan is not just a spiritual event. It is a training program. It trains your discipline when you control your eating. It trains your patience when you control your anger. It trains your honesty when only Allah sees your fasting. It trains your generosity when you give charity. It trains your self-control when you lower your gaze and protect your tongue. This is why Ramadan is not meant to change your schedule only. It is meant to change your character. Ask yourself, if I can wake up for sahur, why can't I wake up for Fajr after Ramadan? If I can avoid bad language while fasting, why return to it later? If I can read Quran daily in Ramadan, why abandon it afterward? The answer is simple. You can continue. Ramadan proves you are capable. Another beautiful part of this reset is forgiveness. Ramadan reminds us that no matter how many sins a person has, Allah's mercy is always bigger. Allah does not get tired of forgiving. We get tired of asking. This is your chance to delete what is between you and Allah. Sincere tawbah can erase years of mistakes. Imagine starting again with a clean heart, but a reset only works if you decide to change something. Maybe this Ramadan you leave one bad habit permanently. Maybe this Ramadan you become consistent with one prayer. Maybe this Ramadan you forgive someone you held anger against. Maybe this Ramadan you become a calmer, kinder person. You do not have to become perfect, just become better. And remember, the goal of Adhan is not perfection. The goal is progress. So treat this Ramadan like your personal reset button. Leave behind what damages you. Carry forward what benefits you. Build a new version of yourself that is closer to Allah than before. Because the most successful person is not the one who had no past. The most successful person is the one who used Ramadan to build a better future. Ramadan is your chance to restart. Don't just fast from food. Reset your heart. One of the most difficult qualities to practice, yet one of the most powerful qualities a believer can have is patience. Patience is not just about waiting. Patience is about how you behave while you are waiting. It is about keeping your faith when things are unclear, controlling your emotions when things are painful, and continuing to do good even when life feels unfair. Many people think patience means doing nothing, but real patience is actually very active. It means you keep trying, you keep making dua, you keep improving yourself, but you leave the results to Allah. Ramadan teaches us patience every single day. From the moment you start fasting, you are practicing self-control. You feel hunger, but you remain patient. You feel thirst, but you remain patient. You may feel tired or irritated, but you still try to control your reactions. And then what happens at the end of the day? Allah allows you to break your fast, and that first sip of water feels more satisfying than any drink you had before. Why? Because patience makes the reward feel special. This is how life works too. Sometimes Allah delays something not to punish you, but to make it more meaningful when it arrives. Sometimes the reward that comes after patience is not just what you asked for, but something better than what you imagined. But patience is tested most when life does not go according to your plans. Maybe you worked hard but did not see success yet. Maybe you trusted someone and they disappointed you. Maybe you made dua for something but the answer has not come. This is where patience becomes your protection, because without patience, disappointment turns into anger. But with patience, disappointment turns into trust. A believer with patience says, I do not understand it now, but I trust Allah knows why. And this belief changes everything. It turns pain into growth. It turns waiting into worship. It turns tests into steps towards something greater. Sometimes the unexpected rewards of patience are not material things. Sometimes they are internal gifts. Through patience, Allah may give you a stronger heart, emotional stability, wisdom from experience, from people's opinions, closeness to Him. And these are treasures no one can take from you. There is also something very beautiful to remember. Allah sees every moment you chose patience when you could have reacted badly. Every time you stayed quiet instead of arguing, every time you stayed quiet instead of arguing, every time you controlled your anger when you were hurt. These moments are not small to Allah. Sometimes your biggest reward is not what Allah gives you, but what Allah protects you from. There are doors Allah keeps closed because He knows what is behind them would break you. There are situations Allah removes you from because He knows they would harm your future. One day you may look back and thank Allah for the things you did not receive. So this Ramadan, remind yourself, patience is never wasted. Good character is never ignored. Dua is never lost. Even when you see nothing happening, Allah is writing something. And always remember this powerful reality. Allah never wastes the patience of those who trust Him. So be patient with your goals. Be patient with your healing. Be patient with your growth. Be patient with Allah's plan. Because sometimes the greatest blessings come after the hardest waiting. Stay patient. Your reward may arrive in a way you never expected.